Hello guys, and welcome once again to another awesome episode. You can see we are still in Thika Greens. Last time I brought you here and I showed you where I want to make my home. So I am back, and this is an interesting video because we are going to get the full history of Thika Greens. I mean, before you decide to make a place your home, you have to know where it came from and maybe where it's going. So I am getting that right from the horse's mouth, and I am not calling anyone a horse. Thank you very much, Mr. Wakil, if I can call you that. Yes, thank you for having us in your home. It is such an honor to be here.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
Thank you. Maybe we can start by you introducing yourself.
My name is Kamau Mbugua. As I mentioned, I'm a lawyer by profession.
Okay.
And because we are at home, I'm a family man.
Yes.
So I have one wife.
Very
and
important.
I have 3 kids.
Where did you start from? Who are you?
I'm an ordinary Kenyan who has grown up just like any other. Most Kenyans, the way they have grown up. I grew up in the village. I was born in Gatondo. So I grew up in Gatondo. I went to school, primary school in Gatondo.
Okay.
I went to my Form 1 to Form 4 in Gatondo.
Okay.
Then my A-levels is when I went to Nairobi school in I will not tell you the 19 so that you don't guess my age.
Your age.
But then I went to the University of Nairobi where I studied law.
Okay.
And I've been practicing law now for over 25 years.
Wow, that's
Yes.
a long time.
Yes.
Now that we are in your home, maybe you can tell us how did you get here, and when did you move here? Did you move here with your family, or?
When we bought this property, a piece of land, there was nothing. This was a coffee farm.
Okay.
And the reason I decided to buy this particular plot is because the prices of land had started going up very fast.
Yeah.
So I had missed out on a property that I wanted to buy in Karen.
Okay.
And by the time I was able to put some money together, the land prices in Karen had gone way too high.
Yeah.
So I decided to get a little bit outside Nairobi to be able to afford.
And you get bigger space
Absolutely.
as well. Yeah.
So my bet was actually correct.
Yeah.
Because what happens is that if you're not able to buy expensive properties that are close to the city, you should not give up. You should, and especially if you're a young person, you get a little bit outside, look for controlled developments and buy a property there at a lower price, even if the place looks like it's a little bit, in the wild.
Yes.
Time will surely be on your side, because over time people will move there, and especially if you choose a place that has, you can look at the infrastructure development. How, like for example, when we came here, the only aspect of faith we had was the fact that the Thika Superhighway was under construction.
How long ago was that?
I bought this piece of land in 2008.
2008.
Yes.
Wait, let me just get this clear.
No, 2009. Sorry.
2009.
2009.
Still,
That gives it how many years?
that's around more than 10 years. That's 11,
Yes.
11
Just
12
about
years.
10, 11 years, yes.
Yes. The fact that you're coming from, if you've mentioned Karen,
Yes.
so at that time I'm imagining Karen being a little bit more developed.
Yes.
How did you envision that this place, Thika Greens, Imeja coffee? It was a coffee farm.
Yes.
How did you see it? How did you see the future, that it's going to be what it is now?
Well, yeah, absolutely. A little bit of education, of course, is necessary. And we have an educated population now.
Yes.
So you should be able to see the trends, be able to read and find out, how is the population moving. And the fact that you have a group of people that is coming up with a concept to put up a housing project at a place like this, it means that there is a market for it. So they are out there advertising it, selling it, and announcing it to everyone who is interested. So of course you come across that, and when you come across that, if you're not part of the original dreamers or vision carriers, then you think, where am I? As a, do I want to have a property of my own? Do I want to save some money and buy a piece of land? And of course, building your own house is always much better than than renting or buying one that is already built by someone. It's good to build for yourself, so that then you can feel that it is a home that you have.
You own it.
Yes, absolutely.
And your family also, especially your children, they get to understand that more than just being moved from this house to another.
Yes.
You bring them cutting it kichaka, as you said. Your wife, as you say, she never saw it as you did. How was it? Was it difficult to bring her on board, or how did she handle that?
When we decided that we wanted to put up a house, because I told you that we bought the property in 2009, and I started building in 2012. So my house by 2014 was ready, but I didn't move in because then you didn't have a lot of other people here. So you can imagine I was maybe among the very first, apart from the show houses that you will see next to the entrance, the gate, the main gate on this side. We basically had almost no one here. And this is phase 1 is a place that ultimately, when it is fully occupied or it's fully built up, will have about 1,600 residences.
Wow.
So it's a huge place.
It's a huge estate.
Together we actually say, if you take phase 1 of Thika Greens, phase 2 and phase 3, we are basically the same size as the Vatican. And the Vatican, is a state. Is a state because you have the phase 2, which has the golf course.
Yes.
And has the potential of 800 residences. And you can see that the homes are being built. You can see the momentum is picking up. We right now are in phase 1, 300 plus. 300 plus houses that are either fully built and occupied or progressing. But you can see we still have room for more. Phase 3, which is the youngest, of the phase, is the youngest phase of the project of this development, will ultimately have 1,500 homes.
Wow.
Yes. So that is the new kid on the block.
Yes.
That is where we would want people to go buy their properties, and before the prices go too high and they have to suffer the same fate I suffered when I had to come here. And instead of current. But I would want to say this.
Yes.
When I look at the decision I made to come and invest in Thika, it has paid off better than if I had insisted on buying one property at a higher price in Karen, because I was able to buy many. So I have.
So here you bought several.
I bought several plots in all the 3 phases.
Oh, okay.
And because I don't want to build in each of them, I wait for the property to appreciate, and I sell it. You
had mentioned earlier that this is actually like a pension plan.
Yes,
it's a pension plan for you and your family, because you've bought several pieces in each of the phases.
Yes.
And so far, let me just, you can give an approximate, like how many pieces have you bought and the appreciation?
I have in this phase, I have this particular property where I built this home. I have told you that in this phase we are selling another property that is double this size. That is slightly bigger, which we bought for about 2.8 million, about 4 years.
What size?
This is a quarter of an acre.
Okay.
But the one that we're selling now is half an acre, which we bought for 2.8 million shillings up just about 4 years back. And we are selling it for 12.5 million.
Wait. 4 years, that is like 1,000%.
Well, I don't know. I'm not a very good mathematician, but yes, it's some good money.
What are you doing, guys? What are you doing? I mean, 4 years only.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're intending to sell that one,
it's already gone. I mean, I have the deposit. I have the deposit, and I'm waiting to complete the transaction. So
wow.
So I can use that money now to invest in something else. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So your children, when did you move here now officially?
It's exactly 3 years and 3 days. I moved here on the 15th of September 2018. So my house was here, standing here. We would come and visit. Yes. My children have seen me building it.
Yeah.
We would demolish this part and replace it with something as we were waiting for the population to build.
Yes.
But the feeling is good when you have to build your property together with your kids. They know that houses don't come. They don't come from heaven.
Yes.
You have to labor. You have to work hard.
Yeah.
save money, buy a property when it is still not very expensive.
Yes.
You know, it will appreciate over time. Do not fear getting to a place that is a little bit off the city.
Yes.
You have seen that now infrastructure development is happening almost everywhere. So if you are living here in Thika now and didn't want to go to the city of Nairobi, you still can work and function very well. You have malls that are around this place. Yes. So if I go to Thika town, you will have Quickmart, you will have Naivas, you have supermarkets that are surrounding you. So for purposes of shopping, and you have good schools, because my kids are going to a good school that is in Thika. I work in the city of Nairobi myself, and in an hour, I'm able to, you know, I live here at 6, and by 7:15, 7:30, I'm in my office on Ngong Road, not even on this side of the city. And now with the expressway that is being done, that is going to declog the traffic jam that normally you got between Utalii College and Pangani. With the expressway, I am sure this is going to dissipate. And being here is exactly the same thing as being in Karen.
True. You have mentioned, I want us to go back. You've mentioned about the challenges that you might suffer. You might go through some sacrifices that you have to just undergo to have this home here. How did your family understand that? Did they see it that way?
Yes, in fact, let me tell you what I did. My boy, my second born,
yes.
When we decided that we were planning to come to Thika, I moved him to Thika, a day school in Thika. So I would drop him, and that time we were living in Langata. I would drop him every morning.
Every morning.
Only make arrangement for someone to drop him back.
Yes.
But I did that journey. It's about 4 years back. So if he was about 9, 10 years old, so I would bring him, and then he would come all the way back. So I did that for about a year. And it became apparent that it's doable. If we could do that, we could as well live here.
And you can work. And
we can, it was doable. So
yeah.
But it was not easy to make that. But as I said, by the time we actually decided to move, because the house had been here, we already had a community here. So we had about maybe 100 homes that had already been occupied, and people were living here.
Yes.
And given the fact that I had an administrative role as the chairman of the community in phase one.
That came by when you moved here. The role that you have now as chairman, because I was introduced to you as you're meeting the chairman, and I knew, oh my God, I must be meeting one of the earliest investors.
Yes. Well, I'm the chairman of phase one, but I also sit in the board of Thika Greens. So I sit in the board. Yes, because we are still nurturing the project so that the project gets to a place where everybody feels, you know, that they belong to a community that is working.
I think you're actually in a better position to answer me, because I was sharing this with my family, and I told them this is a place I would also want to make home. This is a place where I would want to raise my children. What expectations do you have for the future of the whole estate?
If you have 1,600 homes in phase one, another 800 in phase two, and another 1,500 in phase three, that is a community of that is what, 3,500 or something like that. No, more than that, because the two phase one and phase two, that's already 3,100 plus 800. It's about 4,000. It's 3,900. So that means that you're going to have a huge community here. So you're moving to a place that has security, because then it's an organized, developed, controlled development that has management of its own. So the security is first in the numbers of people who are organized. It's a gated community, so it's not just a place that you come in and go. You have yourself experienced that when you're getting to the gate, that you have a security system that ensures it knows exactly whether you're a resident or you are a visitor, where you're going and all that. Of course, we need to be able to manage issues like, water, electricity, all the services that are required. So you have to have management committees. And of course, as I said, the board will still have a responsibility over the entire project, because this is still an ongoing project from the perspective of the developer. Because until you have all these homes built, the project is not over. It is going on. So we have to ensure that the standards are maintained, so that the prospective buyers, like now phase 3 is a new kid on the block, as I said. Prices are still good, 5.5 to 6 million shillings. I think it's 6 million shillings now. But I can guarantee you that in about 4 or 5 years, those properties will be it will be double or more,
Absolutely.
And you can see every corner you look, you will find a new house coming up.